Alright guys, welcome back to another KM Builds video. Today's video is going to be just an introduction to my R8 and future plans, and a pretty chill video where I'm just going to give it a bit of a wash. It's been in storage for a couple of months, so it's not stinking, but it is a bit dusty and dirty, so just needs a good going over. Some of you may have seen the R8 previously. In our introduction video, we did an intro to Ken's MX-5 and my R8. So running through what my R8 is, it's a gated manual V8. I know some people say, oh, you should have got a V10. You know, my budget allowed for V8s, GTRs, M3, M4s, M2s, stuff like that. I'm really happy with the decision. I wanted something a bit different. And although the maintenance is a killer on these cars, you can get into them in the UK for a relatively reasonable price. So I had the car May 21. Kept it stock for a couple of months, and then we were going to Worthesea, so that's when all the mods began. So we have done quite a lot to the car, which I'll sort of run through in more detail, but we've carboned the sides, we've wrapped the whole car in a British Racing green, carboned some interior bits, we've put wing backs into the car, changed simple stuff like the seat belt. So I know it's on the daily wheels at the moment, but I'll show you the show wheels that we have got going back on, but I just need them to be refurbed, but I'll explain that later. There's quite a lot of pieces that we've done, and I'll show you them as we step through the car. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the daily wheels. So these are what come on the R8 as standard. These have served me well in terms of just runabouts, but they are a bit worse for wear. I do have my show wheels, which I'll just grab now. These wheels are what I use for shows, but they need a mix. Well, I say they need a mix up. They need a change up in terms of the color. So these are BBS RS2s. They are a 3-piece wheel. Well, originally they come as a 2-piece, but you basically split the face from the barrel. You then get new barrels and lips, and you create a 3-piece wheel. So I've had these I had them on my Golf R before, and then I increased the barrel and lip size just to then fit the R8. These are the rears, quite thick tires. I think they're 295 on the back, and then I think like 225 on the fronts. They had red bolts to match the calipers, and the interiors in a red, which I'll show you later on in the video. But the plan is to change these up. So I need to get them down to a wheel refurb company where going to change the face and the lip. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should adjust this to. So the plan is to keep the green, or the British Racing green wrap on it, but I do think that the black wheels sort of hide the detail. So the plan I initially thought was silver face, polished lips. Tempted to go bronze face, polished lips, but it's a bit louder, which I don't know if that suits the car. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you think, or you have seen maybe another set of BBS RS2 online that you think will suit this more than what I've mentioned. But I am excited to get these off. Show season has started now, so I do need to crack on really with getting these refinished and getting them on the car. So what I'll do now is just give the wheel a rinse, and then hit it with my wash mitt, get off any light stuff, then chuck the pre-cleaner on it. Again, I'm not really too bothered about these wheels, but they do look stinking. So they say wheels make a car, so let's give them a clean, and then hopefully they'll look a bit better until I sort out the other wheels. Okay, so I've tried to do a wide angle. Hopefully it's working, but I've just given the interior a bit of a clean. You can sort of see where the Alcantara's leaving the normal lines. But yeah, this is my interior. So we've changed for R32 wing backs from the traditional seats. We've gone for seat skins over the top, so this is an Alcantara red stitch center with leather exterior. We've changed the belts just to a red belt from Vibe Belts. The seats were from Seat Skins. If you are interested in anything like that, give me a shout and I can help you out with that. So we've also Alcantara the rear panels, if you can see here, along the back, up the side, and then all the way down to the front. I've only given it a quick hoover, so it's nothing special, but all of this has been done, along with the center console. We've also carboned a few bits, so I think the sun's been a bit of a killer, but hopefully you can see that's the carbon interior, carbon by here, carbon there, and then also carbon on the door and the handles as well. In terms of the dash, so there's the airlift controller and also just a double din unit. Probably my favorite bit of the interior is obviously that gated manual. So I'm just going to give it a scrub over now. I'm hoping I can have a bit of a chat as I'm doing it. So I crack on. So what I tend to do when I am washing is work in straight lines. That's just the way I've always been taught. Again, it's just, I don't know if it's the best method, but it's the way I do it. Two bucket method, which I mentioned earlier. So the aim with that, if you haven't heard of it before for whatever reason, is just to basically rinse off the dirt in one panel, and then pick up the shampoo with the other. So that's all I tend to do. My car is ceramic coated, so you know it doesn't hold much dirt sort of embedded into it like a normal car, and it's quite low, so I haven't got to jump up and you know, try and get up on the roof or anything. What I try and do, if it's quite a dirty car, I will sometimes use a different mitt for the bottom. But for me, as I said, mine doesn't, you know, it's been in storage for a couple of months, so it's more dusty than necessarily dirty. I know people tend to start at the top, do them panels. Again, this is just get any light dusting off rather than an in-depth how to detail your car. I'm sure there's plenty of those on YouTube, so this is more about my plans and any shows for this year. So in terms of my plans, so if I haven't already, in this video will be about my wheels. I need to refurb those. I'll also show you my spoiler if I haven't done that already. I'll run through the plans with that. It's a spoiler I ran last year. It is one of one. How good that makes it, I don't know, but it was for a Gen 2 R8 / TTRS, but again, how convincing that is from China, you'll never know. I only paid, I think, 200 quid or so for it, but we cut the ends off, extended it to align it with the car, 3D printed some end plates for it. That was done by Ken, just to make it suit the car better and be more aligned with it. Otherwise it looked, well, you couldn't have run it really, it was a bit odd. So that's the spoiler. What I would like to do as well is have a livery put on the car. My initial plans were to have a bronze type livery to match if I was going to put the wheels bronze, but in the end, you know, I think I'm potentially going to have silver wheels, so that won't match. So let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions. Now, I'm a big fan of the GT3 cars. It's obviously not going to look like that because it doesn't have the width, but that type of style would be what I want to go with. So if you do know any graphic designers or anyone who would want to have a chat about that, again, leave in the comments. And if you are enjoying the video so far on what we've gone through, then do us a favor if you can and subscribe. We have got like a lot of plans for the channel itself. If this is the first video you're seeing, We've also got a K truck on the channel that we're rebuilding at the moment, and we got some exciting news coming up for that, but that'll be in those videos. And then we've also got, you know, modifying the R8, modifying Ken's MX5, and, you know, quite a few pieces like that. Any shows we go to, things like that. In terms of shows, the main ones I'll be going to this year are ones like Gravity, Roll Hard, Fitted UK. If it was on, I don't think they're running it anymore. I don't know if they've stopped that altogether, but the bigger shows. Ken is more keen to hit a lot of shows, a bit younger than me, so, you know, his first few years in the car scene, whereas I've been to a number over the years, so I tend to only go to the bigger ones and that type of thing. So if you are looking to see the cars, we'll definitely be at Gravity, definitely be at Roll Hard, and definitely be at a few other bigger ones as the year goes on. We do want to try and attend some coffee mornings, stuff like that, as they come about, but we're in sunny, well, today at least, sunny Wales, and there's not really many shows or good shows that that exist here, unfortunately. And then if I show you, I don't know if I can, no, it's too soapy, but anyway, one bucket is stinking, one bucket is relatively clean, and what I'll do now is just rinse off the car. As I said, it's not too dirty anyway, and then I'll give it a dry over. So now I've finished washing the car, getting the shampoo off, I'm going to use just a rinse aid product that Stanogloss do, spray that all over the car, avoiding the glass areas, and then rinse it off, and then hopefully that'll aid the drying process. So I'll show you a trick at the end that I use to dry and just to get rid of most of the water, and then run around it with a drying towel. So the trick I use, and most people, if you're using a snow foam, will probably have one of these quick release mechanisms. I just have a little nozzle that goes in there to make it easier, but obviously normally you have your snow foam in there, and all I do is turn off the pressure washer, so there's no real pressure. It's more of a, you know, just a trickle, I guess, out of it, and then I'll just run this along the panel just to bead it off, try and keep pace with where the water's running. And then what that allows, you see compared to the start, how much less water we've got to get off. So if I show you the rear windscreen as an example, you know, again, trying to keep pace with the water. And then that is a lot less for our drying towel to get off. Means you're not going back and forth, less contact with the panel. Ideally, in the next few months, I would like to buy one of the mini blowers you can get, which will just take that straight off. So I won't even have to dry the car that way by touching it with a drying towel. But for now, that's the method we got. So I'm just going to do this all around the car. It takes a bit of time, and then dry it off. And that should be it pretty much. Oh, and the tyres and a few other bits to do actually. So we'll do that as well. So one of the bits I may have mentioned in the video, I'm not too sure, is my spoiler. Now, I won't be attaching it, but I wanted to mock it up for reference, and it's going to slide, unfortunately, so I can't leave it on there. But this is the custom spoiler that was made by me and Ken. So it comes off a TTRS / Gen 2 R8. It is out of China, so it was actually about this short, so sat quite far in the body, whereas we extended it so that the winglets on the end, I think that's what they're called, winglets were in line with the body shape of the car and in line with the wing mirror. These were 3D printed and then painted. I'm pretty happy with it. I've not seen any others, and I do get quite a lot of queries regarding fitting it. I know a few people have bought them and had issues where, as I said, they're too short, so they don't end up running them. We extended fiberglass, etc., so it looks a bit better. Now, the issue I've got is, if I bring it a bit closer, sorry, it's a bit dusty, but it is wrapped in green at the moment to match the car, which is quite nice, but I don't know whether to carbon fibre it. So let me know in the comments below. Do you think the green suits more with the black? Or do you think we should carbon fibre it? I would probably keep the black uprights and the black end pieces, just carbon fibre the centre. Or I could carbon fibre the whole thing. I don't think I could carbon fibre these, they'll be a bit too hard. Yeah, that's the wing. Pretty happy with it, to be honest. From what we, we're not body shop experts. We're not rappers or anything, to be fair. We just have a go and see where we end up. So that wraps up today's video. Thank you if you have stayed until the end. If you have enjoyed it, then please do drop a like, comment, and hopefully if you want to tune in for a few more videos, then do feel free to subscribe. We've gone through some of the upcoming videos that we'll have on the R8. There is a lot of plans as well that I haven't spoke to. I want to keep some surprises for the channel moving forward. On some of the things we're going to do, but we've covered the livery, the wheels, the spoiler, things like that. If you do have any feedback on the build, let me know as well. Any ideas on what we could do next, any improvements, I'm open to that. Sort of said, the main shows I'll be hitting through the year, whereas Ken will go to most shows, so either catch one of us at those if you want to chat or whatever. But yeah, if you've enjoyed today's video, then I will see you hopefully in the next one.